to the Free Play Arcade Podcast. I am Chris Delp, Community Liaison of Free Play Arcade. I am being joined, as always, by Corey. Ew, Corey's not in the house at the moment. We have some special guest reporters. It is our Spring Series commentator, Jeremy Withers.
AKA Boat Guy.
Yes, and a really special guest. Jeremy, you've been on the podcast before. Matt, you have not. It is SonicMatt, our Sega Sonic the Hedgehog special correspondent. SonicMatt, all of 12 years old. Of course, this is where you go for all of your Sega Sonic the Hedgehog news and reports. So with that, we throw it to our special correspondent, Matt. What's in the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog news?
So it's a really rare arcade game.
Mm-hmm. That's a shocker with us.
So I thought I would try and never see it ever. It's hard to find.
Me too.
It's hard to find like footage of the actual cabinet. Mm-hmm. You know, on YouTube or just anywhere. So I pretty much could not believe my eyes when I was just walking through Richardson.
Did you beat it?
Not yet.
I couldn't beat it either. I got to the last level. Actually, I don't know if we've already posted the video yet. Okay.
I know it's been announced.
Spoiler
so it's
alert,
on the floor, right?
I'm gonna lose.
Okay.
I tried it out live on the long play, and it did not go well. Well, it went well, but yeah.
March 18th is when
Sonic may have not made it all the way. Jerry Holt may have celebrated and danced on my Sonic-y grave. But yeah, not just a Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. See, it's so hard to pronounce it. It's a trackball, rare Sonic the Hedgehog arcade game. It is available at Free Play Richardson if you want to play it and try it out. It's probably the only time you'll ever see it and ever have seen it.
I know I've never seen it before.
I had never heard of it. It's a Sonic game on the trackball.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. But Matt, you're not just a Sonic the Hedgehog aficionado, although mostly a Sonic the Hedgehog aficionado. You are our kids' Super Turbo champion, like, how many times over?
I have no clue.
A lot.
Yes.
Including just what you guys just came over from Richardson, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point. We do have some business. We took the picture. We weighed you down with the giant 10-pound championship belt. I haven't actually posted the results on Twitter yet. Although, once again, despite a reset in the bracket and a magic pixel, you are the winner. So congratulations once again. Here's your free pass. Your pre-stamped beer loyalty card. I know you don't drink too many beers when you're at Free Play. So that's like you drank 6 beers, except you're not quite as drunk. And you get to come back for free. So congratulations.
there you go.
I hope I'm not drinking.
Yeah, that's true.
We hope so too, because that would get us shut down quite quickly.
pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you find out about Free Play?
So my dad, I guess he was just scrolling through Facebook. He found this post, and it was the Punch-Out cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never seen it before. Like, I knew it existed, and I saw footage of the game, but I had never seen the Punch-Out cabinet. So he's like, hey, there's this arcade in Arlington, that has this Punch-Out cabinet.
Were we talking about the original Punch-Out arcade or Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Very, very original Punch-Out.
Okay,
arcade.
So the original first ever arcade version.
Yes.
That's the one that where Glass Joe famously knocked out Michael Beltran.
Right.
We know this one well. Yes.
Yeah.
I know it's shocking that any human being could lose a Glass Joe, but it
The
happens.
cabinet's very wonky.
It is. It's got a tower. It's like a screen on top of a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll I don't know if it's the game or the cabinet, but I'll just do a move and it just doesn't.
Oh, so there's like guard stun and hit stun. I don't understand that game totally
all the
well.
Punch-Out games typically have it's kind of similar to a fighting game, right? Where it has an input buffer. So it's kind of similar to that, to where you can queue up a move as you're doing something else. I don't know how it works on the original Punch-Out, the arcade version, but I have something to do with that. But again, I'm not well versed.
And also there's a whole button. There's the knockout button. Is it the uppercut button? Yeah, but you have to get a massive streak, and there's a bunch of arrows that come across the screen, and it says KO.
It's just this big button.
Yeah, you just hit the red button. And as a kid, I would hope that it would just make everything explode and win for free, because you had to earn the shot anyway.
Yeah.
But no, Bald Bull knocks you out anyway.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. So you guys when did you find out about the kids tournament? Did you just happen to roll in? I guess I should reset a bit. We run kids Street Fighter 2 tournaments on Super Turbo once a week, every Sunday where I am not dead or in California or something else at 2 o'clock at Free Play Richardson. And it's always single match, double elimination. I've been doing it for over a year now.
Yeah, I guess it has been, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know because David, your father, and Matt pointed out that it had been a full year since he started playing. And you were you were in one of the first several tournaments. It wasn't the first.
Yeah,
sure.
It was not the first.
Yeah, it was already established at that point, although there weren't a lot of regulars until you came around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you seen any, Jeremy? You've caught the tail end of them, right?
I've been to a couple, usually on Stun Days. So Stun Days, the big monthly that we have, 3 out of 5 typical tournament that we do here. But the kids tournament is always kind of the lead into that because it's streamed right before. And I know a handful of us will usually show up and play in between those going on. So that's usually when, you'll get even more practice for those kids those days. They play each other and they kind of see the scene as a whole at that point. I guess that's kind of how you started to get involved and play with more and more people, right? Like you just kind of hang around after your kids tournament win, hang around and play everybody else at that point too, right? So yeah, I think that kind of way that they blend together, especially on that monthly, is the coolest part of it, because they get to play even more and see another layer of the game that isn't common that you see like in a kids tournament. I feel like you and shout out to Jagger as well. You two are probably the two most solid players, the most improved, I would say, over time. But there's kids. I mean, you'll be able to speak to it better. But there's kids as a whole that have improved immensely, like that are just mashing electricity, that are now like spacing a jump in or hitting a sweep or something like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I actually made a tier list for the kids tournament that got shared in like multiple languages, and it was legit. Like I really did think about it. It was a joke also, but
it was a serious joke.
Right? Yeah, correct. I took it. I played it straight, but yeah, it was just a tier list as the characters relate to the kids tournament, and so Chun is top tier in a kids Super Turbo tournament.
Surprise!
Yeah, she won 3 weeks ago. You mash the buttons, kicks happen, high priority moves, jumping is okay. In fact, preferred in some matches. Random jumping gets paid off. So Chun's top tier.
Well, she was already put on the map with Penelope too, even before the kids tournament days.
Correct. So and that's our original kids Street Fighter champion, Penelope, whom hasn't she's come once in the last year, I would say, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
A long time. Penelope, not completely undefeated in kids tournaments, but almost. I think she's been beat once ever, and not even by Matt, although she hasn't come out in maybe 9 months or so. She's a 15-year-old violinist, I believe. Now that's what she's wasting her time with, learning how to play violin competitively and do all that stuff. So whatever with their school and stuff. No, the hope was always that, if I held the kids tournaments, that Penelope, Penelope was did you ever play her back in the day in the wild?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she was playing by the time I started coming around too. She was still playing pretty frequently then too.
Yeah, she's actually one of the oldest Super Turbo players in Free Play Richardson's scene. It was famously me and Michael Beltran and Sean Crane, but Sean Crane was not there nearly as much, surprise, as Penelope, who was 12 years old at the time. And she would show up every other Saturday at Open, throw a picture of Mike B, the other Mike B, or possibly Prime Mike B, Blomgren. She would doodle a picture of him in some bizarre scenario, like him as a banana or as a sea captain or something like that. Give that to him because she was bored in class. Then go over to the Big Blue Super Turbo and literally play until we threw out kids at 9 p.m. And I'm talking like she would play, lose, go to the back of the line, play again, lose, go to the back of the line, play again until she learned how to play. Like a true grinder.
Yeah, that's how you did it back in the old days of the arcade, only then you were coughing up your 25, 50 cents per play. So that's kind of, she was kind of the first extension of that newer generation, kind of grasping that, winner stays, play to win type kind of thing, so.
Yeah, and it's, there hasn't been a kids player quite like that since. Matt's, like when you came along, we had the kids tournament, so you had a structure. Yeah. We were actively seeking more under 17-year-old players. But with Penelope, she was just there to stay.
Yeah, she was there to play. Like she played whoever, and like you said, she was more than happy either staying on during a win streak or getting back in to try to get her revenge every single time.
Yes, no, a treasure. We hope she comes out again at some point. We definitely hold these tournaments every Sunday at 2, so please. But Matt, tell me about your first tournament experience. Do you remember?
So, I don't think I remember fully, but I can.
Well,
remember.
you were 11, so we'll forgive you if your memory is a bit hazy.
I remember how we found the tournament or like how I got into Street Fighter. So, I think it was on like a Big Blue in Arlington.
Yes, yeah, it was. It was kind of hiding in the back behind.
It was the Big Blue with the kind of modified panel with the sun was right, and the square gates, or had it been that
lollipop stick or American style stick? Do you remember?
Not at all.
I think
I barely remember.
I think it was lollipops at that point. Yeah.
And my dad teaches me how to throw a sonic boom.
Was it because of your affection for Sonic the Hedgehog?
I don't know. He just
Not David. Is that why? No. Okay.
He just picked a charge character. Hey, hold back 2 seconds, forward punch.
Okay.
It just happened to work out. It sounds like the perfect character at that point, basically.
Yeah, and then this is from what he told me, and then you came by and then introduced us to the kids tournament at Richardson, and I remember the first ride there, and we got there, and you introduced us. It was like, wow, 50-minute drive.
Yeah. It's quite the
DFW,
haul from Arlington. Yeah, because you're actually an Arlington native, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. I grew up there, so I feel your pain driving around.
I will abstain from all thoughts on Arlington, but we're open. We're open at Free Play Arlington, 400 East South Street. It is the biggest location, and it does have a Big Blue, but that one's playing
Puzzle Fighter at the moment.
Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo now.
And I think there's another one playing Marvel 2.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And they will be converted to the American sticks and buttons so that we can have our hyper fighting at Spring Series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But so you played Guile.
I think the first kids tournament I went to, Penelope won.
If she was there, probably. Yeah,
well, I'm trying to remember if that was the first or second Penelope was there.
I think it was the second one, to be honest with you. I think you had a full random thing, and I mentioned because I remember.
Oh yeah, it was random at the first one. Not I kind of.
You definitely ran into some Chun smashers.
Oh yeah. I don't like. What do I do?
Right.
Well, that's a good first step into the game is instantly hating Chun-Li. You learn how to hate that over the course of the game as you learn to play more and more.
And
so that was a good first lesson, right? So there you go. Yeah,
yes, the first lesson.
First lesson, hate Chun.
Right. Second lesson, hate Claw. Third lesson, also hate Claw.
I think it was that first time you taught me how to flash kick.
Yes. Yeah. I just tried to. So the kids had figured out the strategy of mash the kick button, and that's why Chun is top tier in the kids tournaments. Mash the kick button, it gets you places. So they had all figured it out. Some of them had picked one of the other top tier characters in the kids tournament. That's Blanca and Honda, where you mash the punch buttons and things happen. And meanwhile, here's Matt playing Guile and doing stuff. Right, not blowing people up or anything, but it looked like he's trying to do stuff.
Sonic boom, jump sweep.
Right. So, I went over doing the Sonic Boom, and then the basic strategy of throw booms, wait till they come, and wait till they jump, flash kick them. That's how you're going to win another day.
I mean, that's the basics, right? That's Street Fighter 101. Like, get them grounded, and then when they jump, punish them for it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
it's why Guile and Ryu are the most fundamental players of any fighting game, any 2D fighting game, really. Like, one's a charge character, the quintessential charge character that's not overpowered, has interesting normals, has a variety of normals. And then Ryu, whom has every possible, tool, but the middle of the road tool in every variety.
Well, I mean, the whole Shoto term comes from Fireball Uppercut, basically, and he's literally the blueprint for it.
Yes.
I mean, him and Ken, when they were the same in World Warrior, but especially in Super Turbo, when they're different at that point, it's like Fireball Uppercut. That's the Shoto. That's the easiest way to explain a Shoto, basically, at that point. It's Ryu and ST, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then Guile teaches you 6 characters in a cast. I used it to teach Gabby every single move in one sitting. And Ryu, same way. So, yeah. great fundamental character. Great to see a kid trying with Guile. So it was a no-brainer to go over there and help you out with your basic strategy, because I knew you weren't going to win. To be honest with you, like those chun smashers are so hard. It's like a buzzsaw.
Yeah, especially if you don't know the basics of it. You know, like you can get just eaten up really quick, really quick. Even by like jump short, even by a really good player, like jump short can kill you if you can't anti-air it. So.
I mean, like, even if you do know how to fight Chun, even the anti-air can still be a bit wonky. You need to do it. Like,
especially with Guile, I know he has like 8 different anti-airs that he has to do at different ranges. Like once you get into the really, really hardcore version of like the spacing and everything, sometimes flash kick isn't always the answer. But at that level, like as you're learning, that's your main to-go at that point, you know?
Right, yeah. And I think it works just fine for the Chun smashers in the kids tournament. I think it's played out eventually. Second time you came, I believe that was when Penelope did show up, and she rolled in like a rock star.
And I think the closest I got to getting around was a double KO. I remember that double KO.
And Penelope is not a Chun smasher by any means. Like I said, she's like 14 now. But she was doing supers, walk-up supers. Like it was not unlike some of your tournament performances where it's just like, okay, there's somebody mashing buttons trying and failing to get electricity with Blanca, and here's a kid doing tap 5 on that.
Yeah, with Penelope, I know she eventually started to learn the griminess of Chun-Li, walk up strong, super, fireball, jump short.
She had to. Like literally her growing up playing the game is just Sagat of Michael Beltran. And you think he was taking it easy? No, sir. No, he was trying to figure out how to throw a low tiger shot and failing to figure out how to learn a uppercut. But like, that was an endless amount of scum she had to fight through. So we would play on occasion, but mostly it was just her and Beltran and Rob just playing endlessly.
Yep.
So she came in and just wreck shopped that tournament. But it was, I want to say, your 3rd or 4th tournament when you actually started winning. And it was just sort of like a fait accompli.
Well, I don't think I won a tournament, right? But then there was this big gap where I want to say maybe around spring series. But I remember there was a gap where I didn't really go to the kids tournaments. Then I started going again, and I started, winning.
Yes, yeah. So that's a good point. I want to say I approached you guys with the idea of playing first round in spring series that first tournament. Is that right?
It was 2018, right? Last year's spring series.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Or sorry, 2019.
When I first approached you about playing in spring series?
Kind of, not really.
Again, 11 years old, so not going to begrudge you not having a great memory. 12 now, by the way. 12 now. He's aged. He's growing. He's getting taller too. It's concerning to all of us. But so I've done this year as well. I guess this is the point where we should break off and say Spring Series, the Wide World of Fighting Games, it is a series of fighting game tournaments. We're hitting. Do you know what the main games are? It's ST.
So Super Turbo is, of course, the main event, but there is also Tekken 7 and for the Ice Cold Edge Memorial. As a shout out to him, there's a Super Smash Brothers 64 by Freaks and Geeks in Denton.
Great guys.
And what am I forgetting? Oh, Hyper Fighting.
Hyper Fighting on American Cabs.
Yeah, as a shout out to the Cali and the Houston crews, right?
Yes. Yeah, they requested. In fact, the Houston player who requested it, Jeff Styles, Kid Styles, he was back in the house.
Yeah, he's in town this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was playing games with us, and we're gonna have that on American Sticks and Buttons in a big blue, which makes my boss quite happy.
I mean, there's that hardcore Hyper Fighting, especially in California when we were out there. Like even the ST guys, they were like, we're looking forward to the Hyper Fighting tournament.
They're all about it. That's April 17th through 19th, and it's freeplayspringseries.com. And if you want to go directly to it, it's freeplayspringseries.com/WWOFG, Wide World of Fighting Games.
Sign up.
Yeah. Very, very affordable. It is.
You're basically paying for your entrance for 3 days.
Yeah, thousands of dollars in prizes in multiple games. The world champion is coming out of Super Turbo, Oda-chan. Two-time champion, yeah. 5 different Japanese players are flying in. They've all contacted me and said they want to play in all the Street Fighter 2s, so they're going to play Champion Edition on American Sticks.
That's right, that's a side tournament, yeah.
Yep. Hyper Fighting on American Sticks.
That ought to be a blast.
I told them, I was like, just so you know, American Sticks, Buttons, Big Blue Cabinet. Is that okay with you? And they said, yes, we want to have fun.
That's going to be a blast.
It is going to be a blast. But I approached you and your dad, David, who's actually right there, about playing in Spring Series, and we welcome all children players as well as adult players. I think it's always worth your time to play in these big tournaments. They're booing events. They help you learn where your holes in your game are and where to move next, and also to inspire.
I think that's one of the best things about a fighting game tournament. It's an open bracket, right? Anybody can play at that point. So you're literally like, when you fought Yaya, which is, I'm assuming that's what you're going into.
Oh, absolutely.
You fought literally one of the grandmasters of the game in your very first match.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it'd be a miracle upset, but that experience is invaluable. You know, not everybody can say that. Yeah, I fought the god of spacing, basically.
Right. Yeah. I approached you and said, if you sign up for Spring Series A, you're going to lose. 0-2, definitely. 100% sure. Or 99 point, and there's a lot of decimals. Sure. But we could put you up. You're playing Guile. We have one of the best Guile players ever to play the game. The guy who taught Daigo spacing is like literally featured in mangas and, you know, famous in Japan coming over. You can play him first round if you do sign up. And that would be in lieu of giving him a bye, which he would have earned completely. And I explained it to him. But you said yes, signed up. And how was that experience for you?
It was amazing. I think I learned a good lesson, about spacing. And I saw, I think by accident, that there, a lot of normal anti-airs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knows them for sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, he's famous for just basically building a wall with Guile that you'll never get around. He's actually a Sagat player by trade.
Yeah.
Like, he's the most famous
new Sagat
player in the world. His Guile play is also legendary. He picked up Guile specifically to deal at... Not 100% on this. I believe the story is he picked up Guile just to deal with the Ryu of Daigo. So, and there's been... I remember Sebastian Ultra Combo, the best Sagat player in the States, asking Yaya about a specific matchup, and Yaya's suggestion to him was just play Guile.
Yeah, that's simple, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah, counter picks.
They're very important.
Yeah, but
Sagat really doesn't need much, I don't think. Well, I mean, maybe the top tier, but anyway, that's another discussion.
Yeah, we could get super nerdy with this. Sure. Even nerdier, I promise. Get into the frame data and nonsense. Hey, you ever look up frame data, Matt?
Not much on ST. I heard there's some really insane stuff.
Yeah.
Boxer
has crazy. Dalsum 2-frame normal, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But in ST, it doesn't matter as much as it does, say, Tekken or Street Fighter 5, like where frame trapping and that type of thing is such an important. I mean, that exists in ST, but it's not it's not in the center of the game, in my opinion. So
yeah. So you fought Yaya first round of Spring Series. You pulled a round off on him.
Yeah, I was in shock. I couldn't even comprehend the situation. I'm like,
yeah. We actually featured this in the Spring Series wrap-up video. You can find it on this channel. Your match was pretty much the most hype moment that happened that entire tournament.
That whole lobby was packed with people watching that. So yeah,
it was crazy.
With so many tournament matches going on, right? Usually, like, some matches will have a bigger crowd than others, but everyone pretty much stopped down to watch that because they'd heard about how better you were getting and that you were literally going to fight the guy that invented your character, basically. So like that's just such a cool moment that you have to stop down and watch it.
Yeah. Did you get to talk to him at all?
I did get to talk to him a bit.
What did he say to you?
It wasn't much, but it was respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't speak much English. He speaks very, very little English. He can say like big truck. I know that's really what he's into.
Or Denny's. I think he likes Denny's too.
But yeah, it was respecting. He's like, try Sagat.
Which you did, by the way.
I'm still trying to figure him out a little bit.
New Sagat.
Yeah,
he's a completely different character than old Sagat, honestly.
Old Sagat. Yes. How can you even made him?
Mike. Beltran.
Well, I mean, if you want to, something I like about Super Turbo, and we're talking about Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, of course, is there are characters for every playstyle and for every sort of level of engaging with the game. If you're a button smasher through and through, well, there's Honda right there, and you can do butt slams and fly across the screen and keep hitting the buttons to do heavy hands, and you can play that way forever and like actually have some tournament success with it.
As long as you don't run into a character with a fireball at that point.
Right, right, and then it becomes a hard grind. But like if you want to just throw fireballs into infinity, then Osagata is right there. If it's fun to execute a move in Street Fighter, you're gonna have fun with Street Fighter, and if not, you're probably not gonna like fighting games. I think that's what it is. Like I end up showing kids how to play literally every week, and that's how I engage them always, is teach them a move with whatever the character that they pick. And by the way, any character in Super Turbo is the right character. I don't care if you pick Cammy or Blanca or Sagat, new Sagat. I think that's the low tier. What is it? Zangief as well.
Yeah, he's and Hawk. Yeah.
Right. Any one of those is just fine. Any one of those can win tournament matches. Any one of them has scumminess involved. Arthur Williams, my community liaison partner, likes to say it is a game filled with supervillains.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you ain't playing cheap, you ain't playing.
Right.
It is the game of cheapness.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. My cheapness versus your cheapness versus his cheapness, and let's all see what is the scummiest thing we can do to each other, and it is fantastic or horrifying, depending on your point of view.
Well, you mentioned showing somebody a move, right? Like in Super Turbo, so the newer games nowadays, they have the shortcuts, they have the input leniency, that type of thing. So it's easier to get stuff out. So if you can teach someone to do something, even like say a fireball, like a Hadouken in Super Turbo, well, that's already kind of a leg up on somebody starting off, like who just started playing, like say Street Fighter V, for example. So that kind of that foundation of, okay, it's a little tougher to do this, but I can do it consistently or every now and then. That's kind of laying the groundwork. And that's one of the awesome things about these kids tournaments, because this game is 25 years old, 26, I think this year. And if you don't keep engaging people to get them to play this, like who's going to play it? You know, we're 30, 40, 50-year-old guys playing this game. It's, you know, we're not going to be around forever to play this. So you gotta introduce the classics, you know? So, and that's not like a knock against any of the newer games, but it's one of the issues about like preserving old games like that. It's like if you engage people to play them, you keep the interest alive.
Well, and ST teaches fundamentals, and it teaches like you said the movements, but there's no leniency. So when you learn the moves, it transfers to literally every 2D fighter.
Yeah.
Like how is your Neo Geo fighting game after learning ST? Breaker's Revenge, perhaps.
Say like Breaker's Revenge, and knowing ST. That game is pretty much just weird ST. So.
Right, yeah, it's just bonkers ST, and you know, a lot of us get kind of far just playing with fundamentals. And I always like to say that for me, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is the ultimate fighting game, as in the last one, as in like you have every defensive option, everything you could ever want to nerd out on in a fighting game. It's just right there, big cast, beautiful art. Whereas Super Turbo is just the most like basic, fundamental. You know, teaching you spacing, footsies, every little bit, execution, all those skills will apply directly to Third Strike. Then you got to learn all the other stuff on top of it, and then every other game as well. Speaking of which, like, what Street Fighter games do you play now?
Pretty much all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, you're just a fighting game guy now at this point, right? You play a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I try to play as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So literally all the Street Fighters. How do you do in Third Strike and Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5?
Third Strike. I'd like to think my Hugo is good.
It's legitimately better than mine.
Street Fighter 4.
That's my main, by the way. Hugo in Third Strike, and he is definitely better than me.
Street Fighter 4, I have an okay evil Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good character in that game. So
yeah, and Street Fighter 5, I play as Kage.
Gotcha.
So even eviler Ryu, basically.
It's pretty much just evil Ryu, but without Ryu.
Okay.
The evil essence. Are you caught up on the lore, Chris?
That really makes no sense, but Street Fighter V rarely does.
Well, imagine Sasuke no Hado, and now it somehow makes a person out of itself.
There you go. So he's like the evil incarnation of the evil energy?
It's very weird.
Okay, I gotta say, fighting game stories are generally not the most
terrible.
Coherent. Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah,
you said it, not me, but yeah. No.
He's right. He's right.
Nobody plays the fighting game for the story. So.
No, we have to play with each other.
Right,
like it's always fun. Like these bonding experiences playing with you. I know early on, like honestly, it was the first time that you had played in a tournament. You didn't win. You had a good time. You were encouraged. Your father, David, came to me and said, thank you so much for helping me introduce him to a game that I can play with him. And like that bonding experience is why we play in arcades, period. Like that's why I have a job. That's why we go to free play, just playing with each other.
Yeah. And like I think seeing you guys like every single tournament or even just every random weekend, it's become it's common. It's cool. Like I remember the first time we played against each other, and I think it was a Tuesday night fight. So I don't think we played each other in casuals at all yet. I was like, okay, I know this kid's getting better. I know he's good. And I tested you with a duck strong with Ryu on your wake up, and you reversaled me, supered for me, and almost killed me. And then you kind of backed off a bit, and I backed off a bit. I'm like, okay, he passed the test.
Right.
So then at that point, I stuck out a crouch medium kick, and then you whiff punished it with your own crouching medium kick. And I remember on the clip, you kind of see me like go like that, I like fall back and like raise my eyes a bit. I'm like, okay, this kid has footsies and a reversal super. So at that point, I knew you were getting better, but it's like, okay, clearly this kid, like he's battle tested at this point, tournament tested, like, and you passed with flying colors. Like that test right there showed me, he's like, okay, he's clearly putting on the work. He's getting better, and all this playing that he's doing is paying off, because now you're beating regulars out there, like even during Stun Day too, like during the 3 out of 5
Stun Day is our monthly super turbo tournament that we have at Free Play Richardson. 3 out of 5, full, like the hardest core rule set that you can come up with.
Yeah.
Just our nod to the major tournament series out there. But yeah, you play in those. So how do you do?
I usually get consistent top 10.
Yeah, which is insane.
It's really good because, I mean, we have anywhere between, 30 to 60 people, depending on what's going on.
Correct, yeah.
Tuesday night fights can be up to like 50 sometimes. So these stacked tournaments full of people, like, yeah, you're collecting some bodies for sure. So
any matches stick out in your head?
The boat guy match.
Yeah. Everybody in the arcade just sort of reeled when you hit that reversal.
The thing is, too,
super.
is that it doesn't matter like who you are. You're the villain when you're fighting against SonicMatt, because they want to see you destroy everybody. Which I'm all for. I am all for. That means, like, because that's also a great test for the other player. It's like the pressure that you both feel, you cannot replicate that when you're playing casuals at all. No. So that type of thing, yeah, I'm all on board for it. All on board for it. But yeah, that was a great match. I remember that very vividly too.
Obviously the versus Yaya.
Yeah. There's a couple. Well, in the adult tournaments, there's one that also comes to my mind. You beat a Dalsum player with Guile in tournament, which is impossible.
Oh yeah.
That's like a 9-1 match. So 9-1 to get a win.
Yeah.
So 90% of the time, if the players are of equal skill, Dalsum's going to win, and then you have to win 3 out of 5. The numbers on that is astronomical that you're just going to lose.
Uphill battle.
And you won. like it's the most uphill of battles. Yeah. It's the most insane matchup in the game. And you won over a Dalsum player who was actually getting better, has the game at home, like practices, everything. Like all the Dalsum players that were in the crowd were just like, wow, great job, Matt. We need to have a talk, Dalsum player. So, yeah, congratulations on that one.
I mean, it just goes to show you the matchup charts, they're important. They're there for a reason, but it doesn't matter until you're sitting down from across each other.
Well, I mean, I still hate the sim matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Sim players hate the Guile matchup, too. We don't want to play it. Like, it's not fun.
It's boring, isn't it?
It's very boring. You win with 2 moves, and that's, if you pick Dalsum, you're picking the hard path. You're picking all the normals. You don't get a reversal. You don't get a Shoryuken. You get the lowest life bar. You'd have the highest stun value. There's a lot working against you, but you get
hurt box.
Fat hurt box. Yeah, you get blown up by extra big boat guy combos, but you get like double the normals of everybody else. You just get, they dump an encyclopedia on the table and say, here, read this quickly. And that's a challenge, and that's why we play. That's why almost all Dalsum players play Dalsum, is just for the challenge. And then you play against Guile, and it's like, okay, forget all of that. Just pick 2 moves, and they're not even special moves, and you win the match for free. And it's just like, this isn't fun. This isn't why I play the game. I'm not here to menace people. So, and then you fought it probably 200 times against me.
Yeah, and it's still crazy. I've probably beat you like what, twice?
Once or twice, yeah. Ever, and like 200. And by the way, that's just the way the numbers fall out. It's not even like, you know, your Hugo's better than my Hugo. You're a better third strike player than I am. So it's not like you're an untalented player. It's just a rough matchup, and you just rely on claw players to get rid of me, and then you'll be fine. You just have to deal with the claw players.
I still get upset when I see J Pong beating you.
Everybody gets upset. I get upset. J Pong gets upset. Yeah.
You just gotta, I was just say, just uppercut it, but you know, even that's not easy. So it's like, it's called like one of those things where it's like, and you've learned this the more you play, like he's evil, but you're gonna run into him. Same thing with every other top tier. So it sucks to have to deal with, but the fact is that you're constantly still coming out to play and learn. Like that's the right way to go about it.
So Spring Series, April 17th through 19th, the Wide World of Fighting Games. Are you going to be there?
Yes.
Cool. So we can announce you're playing first round, not against Yaya. Yaya will not be coming back, against the Combo Master TZW.
TZW, the legend himself.
What do you think about that?
It's similar to the Yaya match, but it's still gonna be crazy because there's lots of different play styles of Guile.
Yes.
I mean that's what Guile really is, just a bunch of different play styles.
Right.
Because all his normals and his special moves can be used differently.
Yeah, he's the quintessential turtle character as well. You can just play defense for forever behind his very safe normals and super quick recovery. TZW is a combo master, and I mean like task robot master.
Yeah, I've seen.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. There's a Dizzy combo that I sent you of Guile on Geef, and that's not even supposed to be possible. Yeah, he's just doing it casually.
He's just doing a Dizzy combo, but probably has a bunch of frame perfect times.
Yeah, like back in the day, like this guy's a legend to where Zach even Jumpsuit mentioned this. Like I think he still has one, Jumpsuit Jesse. There were literally VHS tapes.
Arthur has one.
Yeah, Arthur has one too. I know he's mentioned it. There are literally VHS tapes of this guy doing combos. This was before the days of the Shoryuken forums, before YouTube, before streaming, anything like that. Like this guy's combos were passed around via VHS. Like this guy's legend precedes itself. And he's probably got to be the flashiest guy out there, right? Like you have super solid spacing, Yaya, and you have TZW that's going to blow you up in one touch potentially.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Have either of you seen High Score Girl?
I dabble. I'm a fan.
Matt?
I know my dad watches it.
It's a great show.
Oh, have you not seen it?
Oh, it's great.
I've not seen it yet, but
okay,
probably will change that soon.
You need to go correct that because High Score Girl is about playing in Street Fighter
I
in
know
an
what it's
arcade.
about. I've seen a tiny bit. I just
yes.
Well, so the main character, the main character of the main character is Guile.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it's all about playing Guile in an arcade and facing rivalries and all kinds of stuff. And you'll notice when you watch that it's not cartoon footage of gameplay. It's real footage of gameplay.
TZW is the Guile player.
That's correct.
Footage.
Yeah, TZW provided all the footage for all the Guiles in all the Street Fighter games in High Score Girl. So even when you see because they go through several years.
Well, they start with World Warrior, yeah.
Right. So World Warrior, that's TZW, on and on and on. All of the Street Fighter footage of Guile is TZW, and he blows people up with massive combos that are like, wait a minute, that's pretty cool for a 12-year-old. I'm not sure that's how that works. But yeah, I can't imagine you not relating to being a 12-year-old Guile prodigy in an arcade playing Super Turbo. It seems like the biggest no-brainer. But yeah, he TZW provided the footage of that, and he will be there, and he'll be your first round opponent for Spring Series. So good luck, Matt.
Another Guile mirror for you,
right? You should cosplay as the character for Score Girl.
It's that reminds me, isn't there this one image of some guy putting pasta on his head?
Yeah. That recently came out. Have you seen that? The guy,
I haven't.
It's like a box of some type of pasta, and he's like gluing it to his head to look like Guile.
Oh yes, I have seen that.
Pose,
You're right. I saw that in a community group recently.
You should do that. There you go. There's an idea for you for Spring Series.
Yeah.
Pasta.
So pasta.
Yeah. Normally in a tournament of this magnitude, the Japanese grandmasters would of course get the top seeds. They're the best players. If you lined everybody up in the tournament in a row, Oto-chan would probably beat them all. So. In lieu of that, you give them the top seed because you don't want them obliterating somebody. But honestly, as the young players are learning the game, seeing a grandmaster in person, meeting them, that's such a special experience that I offer it to all the kids in the kids tournaments. That if you want to sign up for Spring Series, we will match you up with one of the grandmasters that are coming out. And will you win? Nope.
No.
Probably not.
It's
Again,
just
it would
Sonic.
be
No.
much higher chance this year than you had last year against Yaya. Like, he's a combo master. He's not the all-time winningest Guile player of all time. He's just the flashiest Guile of all time.
I mean,
Combo god.
he still is a grandmaster.
Like, I predict he'll win, and I'll predict there'll be like a massive combo at the end, and you'll just be like, that was possible? Okay.
Yeah, I think all of his matches are going to be like stop down, must watch to see what he might pull out of the bag of tricks.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I cannot wait to watch him.
I get happy when I pull off a 3-hit.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, if I want to see big combos, I just play this dude. So yeah, Odo-chan will be there. We're gonna any of the kids who wanna enter the tournament, we'll put them as first round opponents of the Japanese Grandmasters, and will they win? Probably not, but they will have a great experience, and they won't. The Japanese Grandmasters won't get a bye, but I think they understand the score. In fact,
Yeah, and they're usually very, very receptive to it. Like I remember Yaya, they
Yaya's a dad.
all stop down and talk to you. I know when Penelope a couple years ago, like Oda-chan basically hammed it up with her the whole time, like
Right.
Chun mirror, like those guys. I think they're more than happy to kind of contribute in that way because I mean they understand too. It's an old game. Like this is a unique thing that we have going here. So anything that they can do while they're down here to kind of encourage that, like why not, right? Like it's plus it kind of counts as a warm up for them too. They get to play a little bit, kind of have fun with the crowd, and just have a good time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so Odo-chan, I'm sure, is going to have a first-round opponent from the kids' tournament. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be Savannah or Elliot. They're going to have to... Maybe they can do a first attempt to figure out who fights Odo-chan first.
Who gets sacrificed, to the slaughter.
Well, either way, at least one of them will also play them casuals too, right?
That's one of the best parts of it, too.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can play whoever in casuals, and they're happy to play new players.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all the new scrubs to them.
Right, yeah. I think, and that's not just the Japanese players, like it's any of the high profile big names coming out here. Like there's going to be a ton of cabinets, a ton of time to play casuals, and it's invaluable, not just for the kids, but for anybody that's down here playing. But again,
Yeah, if you want to moonlight too, if you want to test the waters and what Tekken feels like, or you have a background in Smash Brothers like our friend Dylan Smith does, then, try your luck at Smash 64, see how that goes.
Man, that game's busted. That's going to be interesting to watch. That game is very broken.
Yeah, James Chen will be back to commentate it. I'm sure he remembers you. I believe you got a mention on the podcast, if I'm not mistaken, on his podcast.
Matt did?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, yeah, during their wrap up, I think you were mentioned. Yeah, because I remember catching that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back, so.
Just the famous SonicMatt. Yeah, that guy. How are you dealing with that? That's weird.
Yes, people know who you are now. How does that?
You went to a Street Fighter tournament, a modern Street Fighter tournament yesterday, and they all knew who you were, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that like?
I can't really describe it.
That's a good answer. That's kind of how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, I met this dude at a movie theater when he just came up to me and he's like, "Hey, you're Chris Delp from Free Play, right?" Like, yes, that's interesting.
We happened to see Spider-Man together.
Oh, man, it's a good movie.
That was great.
Your thoughts on Spider-Man?
Which one?
Tom Holland.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
He's the best one.
Well, he's our Sega Sonic the Hedgehog correspondent, not our Spider-Man correspondent.
That's a direct shot at my brother. He thinks Tobey Maguire is the best, by the way, but he's wrong.
Well, your brother's wrong about a lot
That's
of
true.
things.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Matt. Sorry.
Do you remember playing him in tournament?
You've played my brother before, right?
Yeah.
I think shortly after he picked up.
I remember the summer series too. We usually fight in tournament a lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys have run into each other a couple times. I think you've played him both as his Claw previously when he first started and as Faye, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, he gave up the scumbag life and he's honest now with Faye. So
As honest as ST gets.
well, right, yeah, honest, quote unquote. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know you guys have played each other. So like, do you have that kind of goes into another question? Like, do you have any people that you really enjoy playing, be it in casual, be it in tournament? Like, you've been playing for a while now, so you can kind of get a hang of people's play styles and who you enjoy playing.
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, I know. When you play a lot, yeah, it's kind of hard to narrow it down
Yeah.
for sure. But any particular opponents you like playing, either with your Guile or trying any other characters out?
I do like playing you in casuals, even if it's sim, because it's interesting. It's a learning experience.
You got to practice, right? You got to learn.
It's hard. I try to not be a menace. It's a fine line because I could pick say Honda and just Ocho someone to death and do something. exceedingly cheap. Like the take their loops with him are so real that like you win in an instant and your opponent doesn't feel like they have a chance, and I have to explain it. Like I basically play that by request only, and I got it requested the other day too, which was really weird. I'm like, are you sure? So yeah, but we've played casuals in basically every character I can think of, and right now like I can obviously sim Guile. It's a terrible match.
Yeah.
But I struggle to even pull a round off of you when we go Guile mirrors, and like everything else is like you said, an interesting, fun match, and I just have to go as hard as I can go and see how it works. I can't jump on you. You'll flash kick me. You have the reactions of like a 12-year-old.
I wonder why.
So, I mean, anybody else stick out?
I like fighting the Jerry in casuals.
I think everybody does.
Why is that? He's been on the podcast as well.
He gets better fast.
Yeah?
I think so.
That's interesting. He's the most gregarious player like in the entire state, really.
Yeah.
Like
you'd never be able to tell if he's winning or losing because he's laughing his ass off the entire time.
Yeah,
he just laughs maniacally after everything.
He's such a good sport.
He absolutely no. I want to grow up to be as good of a sport as the Jerry, and like I feel like Oda-chan is also a very gregarious player.
Totally.
Yeah. So
Ham.
Yeah, Ham. When he loses, he throws his hands up in the air. He gets serious.
Points at the camera.
Yeah. A total ham. So is the Jerry.
There's a bunch of clips like on the Free Play channel of just Oda-chan being a goofball.
Right. Yeah. No, we have a good 5-minute montage of that at this point. So yeah, the Jerry is right in line. He's the player in attitude closest to Oda-chan that we have. Just always having fun, win and lose. Really something that I aspire to as well. So yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah, I guess. Are we good on time? Should we? Yeah. So we should get to wrapping it up. Are you so you're coming up to spring series? Are you still going to the kids tournament? Still enjoying yourself?
Yeah. And I remember picking Old Faye this week.
Old Faye, yes, yeah. You dropped the Old Faye.
I landed 1-5 hit.
Oh, did you do? What did you do to jump in? Did you cancel the crouching medium kick into Rekkas, or because that's the one thing he has, right?
I did a standing medium kick into Rekkas.
Nice.
Yeah, because he picked O'Fay just basically at his dad's request.
Okay. Well, the thing with Old Faye is that he can cancel the crouch medium kick, right? That's the really only reason to pick the characters.
We can cancel almost everything into Rekkas. Okay, yeah.
My dad was like, pick someone random. Old Faye.
Yeah, that was certainly random. And then Old Faye it can be fun though because you can combo with everything. So
yeah.
You don't see them often either.
You know, if you are good at combos, which some of us are, some of us aren't. I'm not at all.
Dawson doesn't need him. So.
No. I could do a 3-hit sometimes. I'm so proud.
Or the 2-hit headbutt, or that's all you need.
That doesn't count.
Meaty switchblade a couple of times.
That's one move that hits twice.
It says 2 on the screen.
It does. And I'll take what I can get because I don't get anything else. But yeah, we'll see you at Spring Series. We'll see you at the Weekly Kids Tournament, and we'll see you at Stun Day. Yeah, let us know if you're interested also in competing. If you have a little kid who wants to play in a Street Fighter Kids tournaments, message me. You can find me, Chris at freeplayinc.com. You can find me on Facebook as well, Chris Delp. There's actually a whole chat of the parents. Matt's in it as well, where they get together, help coordinate. People like players like Savannah are in there, Jagger's in there, Benito, Savannah's father's in there. Jagger's dad's in there, but he's not as active. But yeah, we help get people out, coordinate. Elliot, the champion from 3 weeks ago, is her mom is in the chat. So it's nice to see new players come out.
It's really cool about that too. Like I know I've seen other players like Josh C and of course Killer Miller on the West Coast. Like they retweet the results or they'll give shout outs. Like it's really cool that you guys are doing this. So I think even like other scenes like that, the New York scene, the California scene, they notice what's going on. They kind of see that torch trying to be passed on because again, there's not really many venues like Free Play that allow you to do something like this.
Oh, I want to say it was Jiggly Norris, the combo breaker champion of 2019, Super Turbo. When the question was put to the the private Super Turbo group on Facebook, who is the most improved player in the world at Super Turbo. Julian Orris just said SonicMatt.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's true.
I mean, you're a great choice for it with all the work you've put in. And again, there's not really many kids your age that have the dedication and the drive to keep getting better that way. So I think that's a great pick, honestly.
Yeah, you gonna keep playing with us, old men?
I'll try.
All right.
That's a good answer.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll take it. Yeah.
All right.
Don't let him leave, David. You gotta let him keep playing. You gotta let him keep playing.
All right. We gotta adjourn and do another podcast here soon. So we'll see you next week, and we'll have more. Hold on. P.S. This kid did the most spectacular thing I've seen in an arcade in the last 3 months. Did you see it?
What are you talking about?
He beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the Play Choice 10. When you knocked down Mike the first time, I literally jumped up and down. I was as gleeful as when I was 10 and that game came out.
I mean, I've been playing Punch Out since I was 4 years old.
Yes, and you knocked out that's currently our monthly challenge game is Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the Play Choice 10. It's extra awkward because you're playing on the joystick and button of the original Play Choice 10. And yeah, you knocked out Mike Tyson's. Congratulations, you're currently the leader in the clubhouse, and I got a feeling that no one's going to catch you. If you want to try, go to Free Play Denton or Free Play Fort Worth. That's where Mike Tyson's Punch Out is on the Play Choice 10. Type in the code. What's the code?
007-373-5963.
And then take a picture of the result of your Mike Tyson's fight, right? Post it to our community group, and whoever lasts the longest against Mike Tyson would win if no one knocked him out. However, you've already knocked him out. So you got to beat his time. It's a time attack fight against Mike Tyson.
So good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Tyson's got a really, really sterling record against everybody not named SonicMatt. Wow, that was unbelievable. Congratulations on that. But until next time, if you want more SonicMatt, request some Sonic the Hedgehog long plays. We'll see if we can get him out for that.
Sonic 1.
Sonic 1, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sonic 1 is your favorite?
It's the one I'm best at.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that look like? Are you a speedrunner? You get a high score? What do you do?
I just am able to get all the Chaos Emeralds fairly consistently.
Excellent. Well, as you know from the YouTube, I can get the Chaos Emeralds, but I just can't beat the game. All right.
That's the next step.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stuff.